Happy holidays, everyone. I'm so excited. This is my favorite time of the year. I love everything about Christmas, the music, the decorations, the theme, all that stuff. But I even love New Year's. New beginning, new start. And today I have Dr. Ashandra Baptiste with me.
Yeah.
And today we're going to be talking about press reset. Press reset. What an amazing time to press reset. You know, a lot of times people start doing things January 1. For me, December 1, I'm getting in. I'm getting in. My way of thinking, my mindset, the gym. Y'all know how I dread the gym. Eating better. I'm not going to say, oh, I'm going to wait till after these parties. I'm going to start right now. But pressing reset, starting early, getting in on the game. And I spoke with Dr. Ashandra earlier this week, and she has already pressed reset as well.
Yes, I'm pressing right now. It is a hard press. It's not a forced. It's not a pressing that I am that I've chosen. It is a forced pressed reset in my practice. I love this time of year. This time of the year is my favorite time of year. I actually start planning for the year before, for the next year, about 3 months before.
Last quarter.
Yes, because I can't start right now. If I start right now, the year's already gone for me in 2019. So, with my practice and the schedule and what vacations I'm taking, like I try to put that in the calendar now.
Me too.
Now. So I'm like, I'm already looking forward to October 2019.
Where you going?
Egypt.
You better come through Egypt.
Ooh, I can't wait. I've never taken a week off from my practice. Never. In 11 years, I have never taken a week off.
The funny thing about it is, after this trip, you're going to do it every year.
That's what people say.
And you might do 2. And the only thing is, you want to do 2 consecutive. That's my goal.
2 consecutive? Back to back?
I want to be able to go somewhere, not, as an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
We go out of town and we straight back to work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like to go out of town for like 9 or 10 days and come back and be off for 2 or 3 days. That's what I want to do. I don't have to be gone all that time, but I want to jump right back into the frying pan.
The moment that so I'm really bad at vacationing.
Really?
Yeah. I'm a little type A, which is, I don't know if that's a good thing. It's a good thing to be a dentist and be type A. It's a good thing to be a doctor and be type A. However, I go about 1 or 2 days in and I'm feeling great. By day 3, I'm ready to get back to work. So I am excited for Egypt. I'm already a little anxious about day 4 and day 5 and day 6 and day 7.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this: day 1 and 2, you're still gonna be flying.
I am.
So you're gonna be quite all right.
I know.
You're gonna be quite all right. Day 2,
know.
honey, you're gonna still be on a plane.
I know.
So you're gonna be good. Day 5, I think you're gonna be ready
I
to go.
know. I got it. I still got 2 more days to get back to the States.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. So I try to start my rethinking and retooling and resharpening 3 months or so before the beginning of the year. This year, however, I've had a large shift in my practice. And I don't have a lot of turnover. So a lot of patients who come to my practice, who come from other practices, say they left another practice because every time they go in, there's a new person. There's either a new doctor or a new hygienist or a new assistant. And they're just like, why? I don't know why. That doesn't make me comfortable, right? And so I don't have turnover. Well, I say I don't have turnover, and then I get 3 letters of resignation within the last 3.5 weeks. And these are critical players in my practice. So everyone in my practice is critical, but then there's people that kind of have a little tier. And so
You
all
really,
3
really
of
miss
them.
them, and they're hard to replace.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You just can't put anybody in their position.
No. This is not you have a friend, you don't have any experience, come. No. So the practice, I've been, in 2018 was a year of refreshment, a year of change, a year of implementation of systems. And in that, I had to change how I manage my team.
Okay.
And so I also had to change how I was expecting my team to look at the business. So I need people who come to work for the business, not to work for Amy, not to work for, Lisa. Those are work for yourself, but know that you're coming to work for the business and to understand that this is a business that requires you to be on, for you to understand numbers, for you to understand, how to make sure that everything is flowing. Because if you're coming to work for Lisa, then you just clock in and clock out. But if you're coming to work for Elite Dental Wellness and to make the business grow, then you are going to be thinking business-like. Well, that's very hard, and not everybody's cut like that.
Right.
So here I am with 3 letters of resignation. But that means that I am forced to find people who are going to know how to think about the business.
And you're not wavering.
No.
You're not wavering. You know what I mean?
No.
Even though for some it may seem like a setback,
Yeah.
but really it's a slingshot.
It is.
It's a slingshot to catapult you into 2019 and really be firm on what you want to do, firm on this implementation process, firm on your values, firm on your brand.
Yes.
And so even though you're critical players, I'm not willing to waver.
No. And
And
I will
that says
tell
a lot.
And I will tell you this. So these critical players have been a part of my team for years. So I've always gotten bugs. So I'll go get some training, right? I'll go spend a whole bunch of money, go get training. Come back and be like, all right, guys, this is what we're going to do. And they kind of move slow. They move slow. I'm still excited. 2 weeks pass. I'm still excited, but my enthusiasm has dwindled because they aren't moving at my pace. So what historically they know me as is to lose the fervor. I'm like, oh, well, y'all aren't doing it. And I'm the only one excited about it. I'm the only one doing all the work. So I stop. Takes time, but I stop. I have not stopped in 2018. And they're looking at me like, wait a minute. She's still asking for the same material. She's holding me accountable to not only do my job, but to know the business of my job, to know why these things matter, to know what matters behind the why. The why. Why is Dr. Baptiste asking me? I now know why she's asking me. And they weren't willing to. A lot of the people who have given me the letters of resignation aren't willing to. And that's okay. That's okay. And one who's been very important to my team, she felt like her security was gone. So, and that was a little like not hurtful, but just hard to hear, right? That like she wanted to make sure that she was going to kind of always have a job. And I was like, well, I can't tell you that because everyone has to have some icy. You need to always feel like you're on ice because then you stay sharp. You stay driven. You stay out there like, I'm going to read these books. I'm going to learn these things. I'm going to watch these YouTube clips.
It holds you accountable.
Yes. How can I say you're secure if you're not doing anything to make sure you're secure? So the people that always feel like they're on ice are the ones that are out there hustling, learning new skills, reading, inhaling knowledge so that they can implement things into the business, right? But if you feel like you on solid rock, what would make you learn anymore? I'm on ice. Every day.
Every day.
Every day
Okay.
I'm on ice. So if I know I'm on ice every day, what makes you think that you're not?
Right.
So those are the people that have to grow in another way. And so this person who's meant the world to me as a person, professionally, not professionally per se, but personally, she's leaving. And that's okay. She understands it and I understand it. And we're in a good place about it. But she's leaving because she knows that she's not where she needs to be for this business. Not Dr. Baptiste, because her and I are great, but she's not where she needs to be for the business. So it's sad to see her go, but I'm like, all right, I want you to grow in another area. Go take care of your family another way. Because if I can't do it, I don't ever want you to be down and out with your family. Now, the other people who left, they literally gave me 2-week notices. And for anybody who is an entrepreneur, to get a 2-week notice, you expect them to give the 2 weeks. That's the expectation.
Right.
Tidy up everything, button up everything, be able to, on your last day, be like, here, doctor, here's every place. This is where I've stopped. This is my stuff. These people gave me 2 weeks, and it was really like 3 days.
And they clocked out basically when they gave you the letter. Really?
And really, for sure, they clocked out before they gave me the letter just to kind of be like, this is my official.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you should not do people like that. The world is too small to do people like that. Right? So you always want it like the one young lady who's leaving and she's leaving on good terms. I will always give positive reviews about her. I will always be like, yes, no, you need to, if she wants to come back, I'll be like, hey, yeah, maybe I can find a role for you. But the dental world is so small.
Any industry though.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Even the oil and gas industry.
Yeah.
We think it's so big, it's so major, but certain positions are only available and everybody's talking. You know what I mean? Because there are different areas in oil and gas. You have refinery, you have trading, you have marine oil. So if you work in a certain category, trust me, it's small. And people talk.
They do.
People talk.
They
Without
do.
even having to pull it and pry it out of people. casual conversation. So yeah, it's always about just leaving with the proper decorum.
Yes.
Because you never know which bridge you have to cross again.
Absolutely.
You never know.
And like the reality of it is that so one of the reasons why I've always had like my team kind of be stable is that I just so happen to be a fairly cool boss. So I'm extremely understanding because I know people have children and they have things that happen, and most of my employees have never taken advantage of that. Like they may be running late and they're like, okay, cool, doctor, I'm running late, and I'm like, fine, just try not to let this be a habit, right? Like, I know I have a long night. I have 3 kids. Like, some nights the kids don't want to go to bed. Some nights I don't want to go to bed. I can't sleep. Like, so I get it. But what happens is in that kind of lackadaisical environment, if you don't have another person who can be like, let me tell you, Dr. Baptiste is going to jump on you about this, but this is unacceptable. That's where the accountability has to come in the other areas of the practice. And now I'm having to have a hard forced reset, right? I'm being pressed into this because I'm going to have to be that person for now. Because it's not in my nature. That's just not in my nature.
That's work.
It is.
That's me. You know, I mean, but I'm saying that to say, you know the environment of the salon.
Absolutely.
And I'm so lax and so easy, you know, so easy going. So when my nerve is at the last nerve, and I have to be firm.
Is it hard for you too?
It's so hard. But normally when I get there, I'm at a point of no return, so we're good. So I'm not lenient. I'm not going to be flexible because I've given you, trust me, 4 or 5 chances.
Do you think that this is one of my dilemmas that I have as a black female boss?
Okay.
That if I'm too stern, I'm automatically considered a
like
bitch.
Yeah, you stereotype.
I'm stereotyped immediately. So luckily my personality is of such that I'm not really too stern.
Right.
However, the moment that I flip on that, like, I don't have time for this is unacceptable, it goes into this like, why she got attitude? And I'm like, I'm saying the exact same things that any other superior would tell you, but why is it that I have an attitude instead of it being leadership, or instead of it being like I'm your boss, so I'm telling you what's expected and this is how I expect it to happen. I've been cool the whole time. Now I'm just telling you in a way for you to understand that this is not acceptable.
Because they took your meekness for weakness. You know what I mean? Sometimes, even with the children, let's be honest.
Yeah, my son does it all the time.
You know, I'll say, don't do that. Don't do that. Didn't I say don't do that? But when I start yelling and they slide in and it's like, why are you cursing? That make my feelings hurt. Because you don't understand other language. And it happens with adults, though, as well. You know?
God.
It's like, you know, please don't be late tomorrow. And I get it. We're all late. I'm late. Life happens, right? But when you're late Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday,
Yeah.
and as a boss, if you're late every day, I can't rely on you.
Right.
So you don't give me the leeway.
Right.
Because who's going to greet these people?
Right.
So yeah, I have attitude now. Because now you're messing with the livelihood.
Absolutely.
For everybody.
For everyone. And the one thing that I feel like there's very little understanding when it comes to, and that's why the mentality of the practice has to change, is that the practice has to be profitable because this money don't come out of the sky. Okay? So I feel like there's some misunderstandings of the business of dentistry, right? Because what people assume is, oh, doctor, we made X amount this day. That just goes into Dr. Baptiste's pocket. No, it doesn't. And if you understand the business of it as my employee and as my team, then you're going to be like, oh, no. That money, we had to pay this on that one patient, right? Or because you messed up because you were late and that case didn't go out, that's another fee that Dr. Baptiste has to pay. That she's not charging you because you're a team, right? It's coming out of the profit. So there's a mindset that has to change.
They only see the incoming.
Yeah.
Incoming. You know what I mean? They don't see the outgoing.
No.
The outgoing is so real.
It is.
You know, the outgoing is, so if you see 10,000 coming in, just throw out a number, 10,000. Man, it may be $9,999 going out. It may be. So
It
you know
may
what I mean?
be. Absolutely.
Some weeks it may be, and then next week, thank God, you give me a little grace and I can take home a couple thousand. But you know, you see the 10 come in, but you don't know that it's the first week of the month.
Yeah.
And everything is due.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Everybody is due.
Absolutely.
And so this week I get nothing.
Absolutely.
And next week, I'm just hoping we rebound.
Absolutely.
And I get a check,
Absolutely.
That's what it really is.
Absolutely.
And they don't understand that, like, you're never off.
No, I'm never off.
That's why you can't rest on vacation. That is the truth.
It
the
is.
anxiety of worrying about what you're missing.
Absolutely.
No, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
The anxiety of worrying about what you're missing, how much money is being missed, is somebody going to go somewhere else? Those are the things. Oh, yeah.
It's very real. And I think that the people who have that kind of, and I have dental friends that love vacationing. One of my best friends, she will take a vacation in a hot, like, she'll be like, ooh, I got to get out of here. What? Let me look at some flights. And she'll be gone. And I'm like, how can you? And she was like, because I cannot be productive and I cannot be a good provider to my patients if I feel like I'm trapped in a box.
Facts. But I think it takes, I don't want to call it maturity, because not that you're immature, but it takes a level of growth.
Yes.
It takes a level of growth, because I remember being a young hairstylist, the first 10 or 15 years, I would never vacation. Because I was so scared of what I would miss if someone would go somewhere else, and, just vulnerable.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And I don't know what happened. I need to really sit back and think about it and find out what sparked it and say, you know what? If they're gonna come, they're gonna come. If they're gonna leave, they're gonna leave.
I think it's a growth in faith. I think your faith grows as you continue to kind of walk down the path of entrepreneurship, because you realize, like, it don't matter how much worrying you do. It really doesn't matter, because God's going to take care of you, because he put it on your spirit. He put it on you to be successful. He's not going to take it away. So eventually your faith just grows with it, like, as you realize, oh man, I did have to take like 2 days off because I got sick or whatever. My baby got sick or my husband was whatever. I had to, and I was all right. So your faith grows with the business growing, and so I think faith plays a big huge deal in it.
Faith is so real, because you asked me about how long I've been in my house. We've been in the house 14 years. December 31st.
Oh,
it'll be 14 years.
You closed December 31st, 14 years ago. Wow.
And I remember praying. This is the strangest thing. Going back to faith. I remember praying a week before we closed, and I was like, Lord, when we buy this house, I want to live in this house. I don't want to work for this house and not be able to experience this house, leave early and come home late. And I said, I don't want to work on Tuesdays anymore. I just don't want to work on Tuesdays anymore. I want to be able to be off Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday and actually enjoy my house, right?
Okay, yeah.
And so I just prayed on that. I worked Tuesday through Saturday all the time, up until that point. And then the next week, I worked Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The next week. So like January 1 through 7th or whatever. Okay. 4 days. This was the irony. This is why I know it was nothing but guy, right? That's the slowest week of the year.
Really?
So in the hair business.
Because sure.
Because people are bouncing back from the holidays.
And they just got their hair done.
They spend all that money. They got their hair done for Christmas, and they got their hair done for New Year's.
Yeah.
They spend money on traveling and gifts.
Yeah.
It's normally the slowest week. When I tell you I made more money that week than I ever made doing hair, that 1 week was the highest. And I was like, okay, God, you trying to tell me you're going to be okay?
You're going to be all right.
When I know at that point, I had been doing hair for 10 years. Okay. So the track record was in there.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right. And
I was good after that. Like, good. It was a faith walk. You know what I mean?
And
because I was nervous. Don't get me wrong. Even though I prayed that prayer, you got to be careful what you pray for.
Yeah, of course.
Because
when he give it to you.
I prayed that prayer. I was like, am I really going to be all right? And I was fine. And 14 years later, Tuesday, it's got to be a funeral. It's got to be a job interview.
Something serious.
For me to come in. But the money didn't change.
That's amazing. Because like I was telling you earlier, the fact that I'm losing these 3 employees. 2 years ago, would not have been able to eat. I would not have been able to sleep.
Growth.
You would have seen me and been like, are you okay? Like, literally, because people who know me know that my spirit would have been a little off, and they would have been like, what's up? What's going on? And I'm like, I'm okay. I'm just tired. But it would have been this amazing amount of anxiety and stress and worry that would have played a role in my everyday interactions. Girl, when I'm telling you I'm sleeping like a baby, like I'm sleeping like a baby. Before, I wouldn't sleep. I wouldn't be able to fall asleep. I wouldn't stay asleep. I would wake up and kind of toss and turn. I'd flip the TV on. Then Ricky get mad. I'd turn TV off. Or I'd go into the living room, And so I say that to say is that this is a moment that I know God has created to allow my practice to take the next step. Because we've been growing, and we're at this place where we have to take another step. It has to change. It has to keep growing. And so he's like, no, you I'm putting you here. You okay? Just keep doing what you're doing. And I listen to a lot of podcasts, so I'm a podcast. I hail them. And Tony Robbins said, the best thing for anyone to do is hire slow and fire fast. And I said, I've never done that. I've always been like, oh, I like her. I like him. Great. Come on. I never hire slow. Now I'm like, I'm gonna take my time. You have to show me. And if I say, okay, yeah, you're gonna cut. This is it. The moment that I see something that's not gonna work, I'm gonna let that person go. Because what I tend to do is I say, oh no, they were late that one time. It's okay. Instead of being like, this is actually unacceptable. The reason why it's unacceptable is because of this, and this is what you do to the practice and the team when you are late, or you have a bad attitude, or blah, 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 right? I just kind of blow it off. Now it's going to be like a hard conversation, and if it doesn't change, it's going to be, okay, well, this isn't going to work out. That doesn't tend to be my mode of operation. I just don't do it. Now I'm like, because I know where the practice has to be. I know where my business has to be. And regardless of people, because there's great people all over. Houston's full of wonderful personalities and beautiful and nice people, but not everybody's meant to be where I am and in my space. And so I just have to make sure that the people that come understand that. And so God has given me that peace, which is I'm telling you, girl, 2 years ago, I would have been in here. I'd have to cancel. I'd be like, I can't come. My stomach hurts. I got to pee.
I'm not in the mood.
I'm not in the mood. I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk. Because failure or hard. This is the part that I feel like people aren't transparent about their failures. People aren't transparent about the hard stuff in our businesses. Like, people love to talk about the wins. Those are easy to talk about. Oh, I had the biggest month last month ever. Yeah, that's great. But what about the hard times when 1 + 1 is not equaling 2? Let's talk about borrowing from yourself to pay this. Like, let's talk about that.
Swiping these credit cards to make it do what it do.
Like,
thank God for credit. Like, for real, thank God for credit. Like, credit lines,
Right.
For real,
because people don't talk about that. They don't talk about, like, when you have employee stuff that happens and you have to let people go or you get burned. Like, they don't talk about that. Those things are the harder things to talk about because people only want to talk about the success. But you cannot talk about the success without the failure.
They go together.
They go together. And so for me to be very transparent and be like, it sucks. I'm about to have 3 critical people not in my practice. I now have to absorb some of these duties. I have 3 kids. Keitha, so I'm going to be late. I have to be early. I'm going to miss some of this holiday time with my kids because I have a practice to run. And it is the busiest time of year. Everyone needs their cleanings. Everyone wants their cleanings for the year that they haven't gotten. They need to use their flexible spending. And I respect it. I do. I'm like, hey, I'm your dental provider. I'm going to do what I need to do. And I'm not mad about it. But Tim, that means I need a full team. And God's like, well, I guess you're not gonna get that full team this year, sister. So go ahead.
Extend those hours. Extend those hours because you might have to do less for an hour. But we're gonna get these people in.
Right.
If you close at 6, she's closing at 8.
Right.
Holiday hours.
Right.
From now to the 31st.
Right. My holiday hours are extended because
seriously, because we gotta get it in.
We do. We do.
And
like I said, people don't talk about that. Honestly, right? They tend to just say, oh, we're extending holiday hours because we're busy. No, like that is true, but there is something else beyond that, right? I'm getting off at 7 or 8 o'clock at night because I am doing more roles than I've had to do in the past because I am short. And I'm not putting anybody in that seat.
Anybody. We're gonna hire slow.
Fire fast.
Yeah, hire slow. So in the meantime, she'll be doing dual jobs.
I know.
Greeting.
I know, right?
And feelings.
Answering phones. I'll be like, yo, this is Dr. Baptiste. How can I help you? Like, people, when I answer phones, people are like, wait, is this Dr. Baptiste? I'm like, yeah, it is me. It's my business. I don't mind. What's up? How can I help you? So I think that it'll also, because the one thing that I've learned from kind of resetting my mindset in the beginning of the year was that I allowed a lot of people to do jobs that I wasn't as fluent in.
I'm a control freak. Nobody will ever know that.
Really?
I'm a control freak. And so with that being said, regardless of what it is, no matter how minor it is, I want to know every detail. Like, I don't have to micromanage you, because if that's your job, that's your job. But show me how to do it, because you're going to get sick. And the day you get sick, it's going to drive me crazy. And I don't want to be insensitive to your sickness, but at the same time, how does this system work? If I don't know how to use a computer, if I don't know the passwords, and you can't rest on your sick day, because I'm calling you 10 times. What's the Microsoft password? How do I log into the computer? What do I need to click? And that vulnerability, when it happened to me before, I said never again. Something as trivial as answering the phone. You think it's anybody can do it? No. Because once we answer that phone and we go to log in and book, because we don't do anything on paper anymore. We don't do anything on paper anymore. Yeah, I can write it down, but if I write it down, it's not in the system. And so every morning when I check my spreadsheet, it's not there, so I'm thrown off. Yeah. And for that reason, I didn't like it.
Yeah. And it is truly something that I've learned in the last few months about the fact of, why don't I know how to do this? This is something that I had a generalization, but I could not do it step by step. Like, I can know when it's not done, but I couldn't be like, oh, well, you didn't do it because of this, this, and this, and this is why it's wrong, and this is like, and this isn't small stuff. This is some insurance and billing and stuff that I'm like, whoa, like literally just. And I let people do it because I wanted to focus just on the dentistry. But if I'm not focusing on all these aspects, how can I make sure that there's not any, that I'm being as profitable as possible, that there's not any money laundering and fraud happening, that my license is being protected? Like, there's things that I just let be because I was like, no, I want to just drill on teeth. I want to just be the dentist. Instead of saying, no, I need to know how you're doing this, so that when I do go back and make sure that everything's looking good, I can catch some flaws really quickly. And so I've now learned how to do it. So it's like God's just saying, hey, wait a minute. You've always said you don't need, like that dentistry only needs a dentist. Well, yeah, kind of. But you also need to, if you're gonna say that, you better be able to bill. You better be answer phones. You better be able to like verify insurance. If you're gonna say it, doctor, then you need to be able to do all those things.
Right to Z.
Right. And I still need my team.
No, absolutely. But absolutely.
I need to make sure that I know what they're doing as well.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I want the receptionist. I want to answer that phone.
Please.
But at the same time, when they're not there, though, the system must still flow.
Exactly.
It still has to operate, right?
Exactly.
And going back to the billing, the drilling is important, but the billing is just important as the drilling.
Absolutely. Because what patients, so the thing about dentistry is, one of the reasons why people hate it is because one of the many reasons, because you're wide awake during like an actual procedure, right? So if you were awake while you were getting plastic surgery, no one would like getting their boobs done. People would be like, I'm not gonna do it because it hurts so bad, and I'm up and you're hearing you're smelling blood, you're looking at it, right? It's horrible. So we're doing microsurgeries on teeth, right? And you're awake. So patients don't like it. I respect it. The other thing that they don't like is the confusion on money. Dentistry is expensive. All of us know that. It is an expensive but necessary expense. So I surely can't have the billing being error because people already don't like it. So if I'm telling you something is $200 and you already don't like the fact that you have to spend $200, you don't like the fact that I'm about to do a procedure on you and you're going to like be conscious, right? What if I now come back and be like, oh, whoops, my bad, that's $300. That's a whole different issue. Or because it's a clerical error, I'm now eating $100 as a business owner. That's a problem for me.
Absolutely.
Right? So I may not choose to call patient and say, hey, patient X, I'm so sorry, it's going to be $300 instead of $200 to avoid messing up that relationship. But now I'm taking a hit on the business, right? And the person who made the error gets to walk away free because I ate the 100. So those are things that I'm catching now because I'm now having to be more involved in all these things. So I just have to thank God. It's a forced situation.
Again, I said setback or slingshot.
No,
it's a slingshot.
It's got to be a slingshot.
It's a slingshot because now you're gonna be so well versed. Just like you know about the drilling, you're going to be so on that billing, even though that's not your permanent job. Yeah. But you're going to be so on it now. Yeah. So the next person who comes in, random audits are going to be so easy. Yeah. Internal. You won't have to hire outside company if you didn't want to.
No, right.
You get what I'm saying? Right. Because you're going to be so fluent in that.
Yes.
So, man, it's time to press reset. It's time to press reset.
It is time. I don't want to, though.
Whether it's a forced reset or a voluntary reset. I mean, you got to press reset. But I want to thank Dr. Baptiste for being here today.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for being a sponsor for the Fearless Female Retreat.
Oh, yes.
It's going to be
so
epic.
excited about that.
Yeah, it is.
I'm so excited about that.
Thank you. Have a great day.